It's Hip Hop Nation. Your tour guide is here. I'm excited about this conversation today because this gentleman that I'm about to have a conversation with, we've spoke numerous times. We've been around each other numerous times. He's an incredible songwriter, an amazing artist. You know what I'm saying? He's a good humanitarian. He get out there and give back to the community of artists and creators and songwriters. My man Derrick Milano is in the building.
What's
what up, King?
Man? What's good, bro? How you doing?
I'm feeling good.
This is dope.
We had a. I forget what session we was in.
I remember.
We was betting. I forgot what we bet on. Yo, Derrick rich ass really took my money. Like, but you know, I'm from Brooklyn, so we don't ass bet. You know what I mean? I paid that. You know what I mean? I sent that cash up. What's up, my guy?
Man, I'm good, man. Just working, staying focused. Really in a really good place right now. I'm excited for this new chapter, this new journey that I'm entering in. You already know. Being behind the scenes and doing so much, I feel like I planted enough seeds to elevate, to go to the next chapter in life.
Absolutely. It's so funny that you say behind the scenes, because for as much as songwriters, and let me just run down, let me backtrack, because I'm having a conversation with somebody I'm familiar with, but let me catch you up, Hip Hop Nation. The Die For It joint, you heard it. I gave it my passport stamp of the week. I supported that. That's Derrick Milano, the artist. But, if I just run through names, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Pop Smoke, you know what I mean? If I just start running down names and you go through these credits, you will see this man's name in there as an amazing songwriter and collaborator and producer. So this is who Derrick Milano is. And so when you say behind the scenes, it's so crazy, because I feel like as a songwriter and as a producer, you're one of the more visible in that space, you know what I'm saying, where it's supposed to be like so quiet as kept, but you've amassed so much attention from people just seeking your work out, and obviously with having social media, it's like you behind the scenes, but you in front of the scenes.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot, man, I initially said that I came in songwriting in 2019, and my biggest thing was I said, if I'm gonna do it, I got to do it at the highest level. I got to make sure that I don't hide like who I am as a creative, because at the end of the day, like the people that I look up to, the Pharrells, Dark Child, Timbaland, Babyface,
the
like,
geniuses. You
know what I'm saying? Like these guys are not only monumental in music, but they're also monumental just in culture.
For sure. And
they have a stamp on who they are in the culture and just in life in general. And I was just watching, like, man, if I'm gonna be a song, it can't be no ghost.
Right.
Like, if the way that I approach songwriting is a little bit different, because I try to come in as an artist first. I sacrificed a lot, you know what I'm saying? Even when it came down to like finances, to be able to understand like this is how it goes. And spend many times going to strip clubs with artists that I work with, getting the vibe, just so they can see.
The vibe is important.
You know what I'm saying? I would say, like, with Pop, that was one big thing that he wanted to make sure when we collaborated. He was like, yo, I want to meet you first. Like, I want to just know that you know what I'm saying, that you one of them if we're going to be collaborating and working together. And after that, I was like, man, you know what? I got to really brand myself.
No doubt.
And I really take that serious. I feel like with social media, there's ways to do it and there's ways not to do it. I feel like I don't really do interviews like that.
Yeah, I mean, but
so
I'm
this
special.
is like my first time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm special.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
this is dope. You know what I mean? Like, this is definitely a blessing and a privilege. But I always wanted to make sure that whenever it was the right time, it was the right time. And I really wanted to build myself up as a man, Derrick Milano first, before people dug into like everything that I've worked on.
No doubt.
And now it's the time.
Yeah, now is the time, man. Rest in power to the late great Pop Smoke. I'm from Brooklyn, so we're gonna set it like this. Let's get to that Christopher Walken. You on the Wake Up with your tour guide. Derrick Milano is in the building. It's Hip Hop Nation. Your boy Torae is in the building. Derrick Milano is here. Grammy award-winning songwriter. You was running around with the Grammy so long, I didn't know if I was going to have to turn on two mics today. I didn't know if the Grammy was going to be the second guest and all of that, man. But, just to be celebrated and recognized for all the incredible work that you put in, just talk to me about those moments, Grammy-winning moments, award-winning opportunities and just being a part of monumental, successfully records.
Man, it sounds crazy to say, but I haven't really had a chance to really fully celebrate those moments yet. It's definitely an honor and a blessing to be a part of these records and have the Grammy and stuff. But at the same time, it's like I feel like God put me here for a bigger message, and I don't feel like I've got the message out fully that I really want to put out in the universe and put out in the world for people to really celebrate. The Grammy opened up a lot of doors for me though.
Yeah.
It definitely had more eyes on me in the industry. But then the reason, and it's crazy, I'm glad that you brought up walking around with the Grammy, because there was a point in time where people thought that I was doing it to like rub it in people's face. And the real reason why I did it was because I wanted to showcase that as Black creatives, we have the same opportunity and the same privilege to hold these things.
Sure.
I remember L.A. Reid, I was talking to him and I gave him the Grammy to hold, and he was like, wow, usually people take these and just put them up on a shelf and never see the light of day. And you got it out. I done brought that Grammy to D.C.
Yeah, now
I done brought that Grammy to the hood. I done brought that Grammy everywhere. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I done brought it everywhere because I really wanted people to understand that it's in arm's reach.
Yeah.
Like I'd never seen a Grammy before I got one. My grandparents, one of my grandparents just turned 82. My other ones, they in the 70s and the 80s, and it's like my first time showing them the Grammy was their first time ever seeing one, and that's incredible. 80 plus years.
Yeah, that's incredible. And also, man, just representation matters, and being able to see it, like you said, to see that something is achievable, to see that somebody that worked hard can get some of these things that we look at as, wow, it's maybe untouchable, or that's some movie shit, or that's for somebody else. Now, it's for us as well. And so I loved it. I love that you was moving around with it, and I love that you made it a character. Like, again, going into telling your story and being able to bring yourself a certain way, like, I love that. You know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes people don't celebrate those wins or get a chance to celebrate themselves. But you did say that you haven't really fully taken it all in. Why is that?
Yeah. Just, man, I'm so dedicated. It's work.
Just on to the
next.
Like,
I'm on to the next. Like, I feel like I had a goal that in my 30s, I turned 30 in December last year, and I told all my friends, I'm like, yo, in my 30s, I'm going to go into the next chapter. It's going to shift. I'm going to do a lot more. But the 20s was the work. Like, I had to make sure that, because I want to chill. Like, 40, I might run for president. You know what I'm saying? Like,
anybody
for real,
can win that.
Like, for real, but on some serious note, like, I really want to do a lot more. And I believe putting work first has always been the best thing for me. That's why even getting in a relationship was so big for me. Because nobody really got to see me in that light. They never see me in that light. It was always, oh, Derek's in the studio. We can call Derrick. Derek's going to pull up. Derek's in Miami.
Day and night.
Derek's in New York. Derek,
We've been in all types of crazy long sessions, lockouts, and weekends and weeks at a time. So I know what that grind is like. Yeah.
And my dad always told me, he was like, yo, if you're not working, there's somebody working 10 times harder. And that stuck with me, especially coming from sports, play football. So I was like, I treat this like the same way. Yeah. So I definitely do like small celebrations for it, but I'm kind of like used to not fully I'm born on Christmas Eve. So even my birthday never really gets fully celebrated. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really even take it personal. I just keep my head down and I just try to focus on the next thing and try to figure out what's the next way that I could, get my name out and get my business out. So I could be financially straight. I could be mentally straight. I could be spiritually straight and get things right. Because, as a songwriter, bro, it fluctuates. Yeah. Money be up and down. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm on this goddamn radio. You know what I mean?
And you doing great.
Because I need money to continuously come in.
You know what I'm saying?
Even when the songs ain't going or even when, we got to keep it going. First of all, shout out to my son, Nicholas, because he's a Christmas Eve baby as well. He don't really be deserving 2 gifts, but he get them anyway.
So why don't you give him 2 gifts, though?
No, he do get them. He do get 2 gifts.
Good.
I give him a
because I only got one if I
was
good in school. But
well, you know the thing. Well, if we had to worry about him being good in school, he wouldn't get no gifts. Anyway, we're not here to slander my youngin. The next chapter, I'm glad you touched on that because we'll get into that in the next break. Let's get to some Derrick Milano music though, man. Obviously, we got all the joints that you've written, the songs and the hits that you've written, but we're gonna play some Derrick Milano right now. It's Hip Hop Nation. Your tour guide is here on the Wake Up. It is Hip Hop Nation, the sound of the culture. Derrick Milano is definitely a part of the sound of the culture. We've talked about his incredible songwriting. And you also give back in the way that you talk to aspiring songwriters. For me, right, when I walk through my hood, like I'm a local celebrity. They, yo, Torae, he did that. He worked with that person. They always ask, how do you get into songwriting? Or, what's those hurdles like to get over to get to that place? Because it's such a close-knit society, if you will. It's such a closed off kind of part of the business that a lot of people don't talk about. So when you do have the opportunity to talk to people or give them some guidance and tutelage, first of all, what do you say to them when they ask you questions like how do you get into songwriting, and what made you want to do that?
Yeah, I tell people they got to believe in themselves more than somebody else believes in them. I feel like
you gotta say it again. Say it slow.
Yeah.
It's early. We on the way.
I got you. You got to believe in yourself more than other people believe in you. There's a lot of people that be like, "Oh, I believe in you, and then they don't. You don't hear from them. It be like empty promises.
Right.
But I always believed in myself more, all the time, and I always tell creative songwriters, producers, all of them. I'd be like, "Yo, listen, you have to have something that other people want. You got to be able to put in the work and understand what your gift is, your gift, and be open to sharing it with people." Like I said, I came into songwriting in 2019. I didn't know how it was gonna go, bro.
Yeah.
Like, all honesty, like I've man, for like the past 4 or 5 years, I've been depressed mentally with my own music. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to put other music and other people's priority first, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, and I get in rooms and people are like, "Oh yeah, so I appreciate you saying dope artist, great artist," you know what I'm saying? Because I'll get in rooms and people would be like, "Yeah, I know he's the writer." Now I'll get in this room with an artist that I admire, that I know me and him gonna make some creative music, and the A&R or the partner would be like, "Yeah, man, he's the writer." And then they'll be like, "Oh, he's the writer for the girls." And it's just like, damn, like you kind of just put me in a box on my creativity, and and it kind of does something to me. So I always tell songwriters and producers that if you're gonna do it, you gotta like really want to do it. Like you gotta sacrifice. Like you gotta understand that it's not your time. Like everybody can't be Kobe. Everybody can't be Jordan. Right. Sometimes you're gonna have to step back and be Pippen. There's nothing wrong with that, because as long as you play your role, certain things is gonna open up. The biggest thing that I would tell songwriters and producers to understand is that relationships mean everything.
That's a fact.
It sounds cliche because people will be like, "Oh, well, we know that," but it's like, but do you really know that? Yeah. Like, do you really understand that a relationship that you built 7 years ago could change your life?
Yeah, that's
tomorrow.
The difference, because some people feel like relationships is just that on the surface. I know this person, I follow them, etc. It's like, nah, what's y'all report like? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
how often do y'all talk? Do y'all check in? Have you really built something there, or is it just because in the industry, you know what I'm saying, you only as good as your last hit? You know what I'm saying? And so people will bounce, they'll leapfrog to the next hot songwriter, the next hot whatever the case may be. But if you have true, genuine relationships and bonds and kinships, I think that goes as far as it can possibly go, and that's what continues to build on. Shifting gears a little bit, and I don't necessarily get into relationship talk, but your relationship is one of those ones that's more public, and especially with this new season of Love and Hip Hop, man.
Yeah.
So you talked about your mental health. How are you going to be able to manage dealing with everyone having an opinion once they see you on TV, Love and Hip Hop Miami, with yourself and Angela White, that you may know as Black China, as his fiance?
Yeah, I mean, I already programmed myself to exit, to keep everybody, like, I already put in my mind to X out everybody else's opinion. Okay. Like I said, I planted these seeds early, just in everything, because being a songwriter and the artists that I work with, there might be times when Stan Twitter just start putting your name and stuff, and you like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
How did I get in it?
So I've learned and I've watched from other people's mistakes.
Word.
And the biggest take back that I got from it is just keeping your head down, not focusing on it, and just focusing and trusting your own process and trusting your own lane. So for me, the mental health part of it was more of just, music is my therapy. That's where I would come from. So I wasn't able to vocalize everything that I'm going through, because I'm as a Capricorn, we keep everything inside. Mm-hmm. So I never really had the chance to just, say how I feel. But the good thing that I'm gonna say is that me and Angela are in a really good headspace. We're in a really great space in our relationship, and what we stand for, if it's negativity coming in, that's just people who just aren't for us in the first place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at my comments, it's more love than hate. I feel like even just being her fiance, I make sure that I stand with integrity. Like, I make sure that when I do post her, and when I do go places, I represent her in the right light. as well as she does for me, so that when people comment, it's a different type of respect.
No doubt.
I remember when me and her first got together, a couple of my friends was like, "Oh man, they're gonna be in your comments." I'm like, "No, they not." Because why would they be in my comments if I really know these people? I know the people.
Mm.
The internet is the internet, but
Right.
I know the people. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere though. You know what I'm saying? Even with the Love and Hip Hop, people were saying, "Oh, don't be on there throwing drinks." And it's like, bro, if you know me, why would I throw drinks?
Why would he throw a drink? You know what I mean? Why
You
would
know
he
what
do
I'm
that?
saying? Like,
I think that, you know, the people always talk about the edits, and obviously I've never done the show, although
Yeah.
I've been approached. I'm cool. But I think that they can only use what you give them. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like, you can't edit in something that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So maybe you did throw a drink and that showed up on camera. Well, if you
Yeah.
never threw the drink, you know what I'm saying? But Derrick, I think being headstrong about who you are, having your feet planted on the ground, and definitely having a solid foundation in your relationship. We've seen it. We've seen that work. We've seen Black love in that space, in that platform before. So we definitely looking forward to that with you and Angela as well.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I think it's time for a new light. I think it's time for a new shift. I'm literally getting like messages, like a lot of friends of mine and a lot of people who I don't know are DMing me like, "Yo, you got me wanting to propose. You got me wanting to do." I'm like, dang, like
That's love.
it's the influence. Like, so I literally just sent Angela a screenshot. Somebody had just commented on my Instagram while we were sitting here, and tagged her and said, "Oh, we're both fiancés now. My boyfriend proposed to me on Friday."
That's dope.
So it's like when you're able to know that you kind of led by example in the right way, in the right light, it makes me feel good. It makes her feel good, and I just know that we're doing the right thing.
That's
you know
incredible, man. Well, we definitely can't wait to see it. So the new season jumps off November 18th.
November
Is that
18th.
the day? So next Monday, y'all tap in. My man Derrick Milano. Derrick, before we get up out of here, let me ask you one more question. Music-wise, for the Derrick Milano career, what's the next steps in that space?
So it's crazy. I'm glad that you asked that because I'm about to start working on my album.
Let's go. Man.
I done had 20 albums. All my friends who's listening to this knows they done got so many untitled links, Dropbox links. But nah, this time I'm actually gonna put in the same energy into my artistry that I put into other people's. Like I really want to get back in on my health stuff. Make sure the image right. Make sure I come out with fire videos. Make sure I stay on top of fashion. Make sure I really like tap into the artist mode. And when it comes to the creative side, like bring in people who I really trust and just make undeniable music. And I'm not opposed to getting help from songwriters. So any songwriters that's out there that's looking for an opportunity or been in the industry for a while, like, bro, DM me, hit me up. I'm looking for records, you know what I'm saying? Openly, like we can collaborate. I know exactly how it works because I work with some of these biggest artists. So if I like a hook or if I like a melody or a concept, like, bro, use me, you know what I'm saying, to get in the door in the industry. Use me, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm excited about because now I'm ready to hone in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Well, congratulations on everything, on the success and, you know, mentally being strong and physically, you know what I'm saying, like changing your whole appearance and, you know, just all of the things, man. We definitely want to continue to highlight amazing people doing incredible things here on Hip Hop Nation. That's what my platform is about. It's nothing salacious. We not finna tear nobody down. And I only sit across from people that I genuinely respect. So I'm glad that we was able to have you on the show. But we gonna close out spicy. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it. Come on.
Musically, that is, with this Nas joint. Derrick Milano is here. Make sure you tap in. Love and Hip Hop Miami. It's my guy. You on the wake up to the tour guide.